And as the mayor mentioned in the end of his prayer, the war between Israel and Hamas is now in its 65th day. Israeli and Palestinian civilian casualties have been enormous and continue. Whatever their party affiliation or views of the conflict, many Americans, in fact a majority, and people worldwide have called for a long-term ceasefire in the name of humanity. Recognizing that our government has enormous political and fiscal power to urge a ceasefire, many U.S. municipalities, including a few towns that are smaller than ours, have passed resolutions with the same message: ceasefire now in Israel and Gaza. Therefore, I ask that the mayor and members of the town council, to you all, put the following proposed resolution on your agenda, which reads as: whereas all life is precious and the targeting of civilians, no matter their faith or ethnicity, is a violation of international humanitarian law, and whereas between October 7th and December 10th, 2023, armed violence claimed the lives of at least 1,200 Israelis, wounding thousands more, and nearly 18,000 Palestinians, 70% of whom are women and children. Whereas the loss of all lives, Israeli and Palestinian, are grievable. Whereas hundreds of thousands of lives are at imminent risk also for starvation if a ceasefire to end, achieved, especially to deliver humanitarian aid, water, electricity, food, fuel, medical care and medicines to Gaza without delay. And whereas a majority of Americans, 68%, support a ceasefire, and whereas members of the town council, you all, as our locally elected leaders, represent American values of generosity, dignity, and the equality of all people, and respect for human rights, we share the responsibility to uphold these values and speak up in times of injustice. And whereas the federal government holds immense power to save Palestinian and Israeli lives, now therefore be it resolved that the town of New Milford call upon our U.S. congressional delegation, both in the Senate and House of Representatives, to join us in, 1, urging the Biden administration to immediately call for and facilitate an unlimited ceasefire to urgently end the current violence. 2, call upon the Biden administration to promptly send and facilitate the entry of humanitarian assistance to Gazans. Be it further resolved that upon passage of this resolution, I hope, a copy be provided to the New Milford delegation to our Connecticut State Legislature, to the United States congressional delegations from Connecticut, Connecticut Governor Ned Lamont, and President of the United States Joseph Biden. I want to note in ending this resolution that resolutions have been passed in many U.S. municipal governments, including Akron, Ohio, Atlanta, Georgia, Bridgeport, Connecticut has a pending vote. The town of Carrboro, North Carolina, which has a population of 20,000 or so, Dearborn Heights in Michigan, Oakland, California, the town of Easton, PA, which has a population of 27,000 people, Providence, Rhode Island, Richmond, California, Seattle, Washington, and Wilmington, Delaware. So in sum, I urge you to consider this resolution as a representative of all the people of New Milford for their highest aspirations of peace and goodwill among everyone, especially at this time of year. And I'm going to pass out the copy of the proposed resolution. Thank you for your attention.
The next, I'd like to suspend the rules to add an agenda item. Motion to add an item regarding discussion and possible action on the proposed resolution for an immediate long-term ceasefire in Israel and Gaza.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion does not carry.